Okay, got the closer out, and now we have to measure it to determine its thickness. Now they are marked. Actually, OEM shims are marked. A lot of times aftermarket shims are not marked in any way as far as the thickness goes. But even though the original shims are marked, that's not the last word on their thickness, because they may or may not have been lapped to alter the valve clearance during fitting. So Ducati closer shims are measured from this face here, which is where the forked end of the closing rocker operates to pull the valve shut, to this surface here, this bright radius surface inside here. That is where the two little half moon collets bear, which the collets are what holds keep the valve stem from dropping through the closer shim. They hold it in place. You don't measure from here to here, because that overall height is irrelevant. It means nothing. We have to measure from that internal shoulder to that face. Now, in order to do that, we need a tool. We need some way to reach down in there and measure. So we use a plug gauge like so. Now, this is one that I made up. They correspond to different valve stem sizes. 4 valves are 7 millimeters in diameter valve stem size, which is what this shoulder here, this shank, is 7 millimeters. 2 valves are 8 millimeters usually. And you see that shoulder there, a slightly larger diameter, that stops against the shoulder inside the shim. And we put them together like so. Okay, you'll notice that the plug gauge does not contact the skirt at all, and it does not protrude through the face. Okay, you see that it sits well below that. So what we did was measure from here to here. And we'll do that right now. Okay, and we get a measurement of 0.503 and a half. 0.5035. Okay, you can round that up and call it 0.50504, or now we can call it 0.503. Okay, now since our measured closer clearance was 12 thousandths, and we want to correct it to 6 thousandths so that it matches the rest of them, what we need to do is find a shim, the closer shim, that's slightly thicker that gives us a slightly thicker reading than this one. Now, the difference that we want is 6 thousandths of an inch on the actual measured clearance. That doesn't necessarily mean that we want a 6 thousandths inch thicker closer shim because of the geometry of the closing rocker arm. If we actually installed a closer that was 6 thousandths of an inch thicker than this one, our actual measured clearance is going to be a lot tighter than that. So we're going to go with a 3 thousandths thicker closing shim and see what that gets us. Okay, and just incidentally, opener shims do not need a special tool to measure. See the cupped end, that's where it actually fits over top of the valve stem like a hat. And with the opener shims, you can just put it on the end of your micrometer and then measure the actual thickness directly. No intermediate tool needed. Yeah. And again, openers, the important measurement is from the face down inside here where it actually contacts the valve stem to the surface where the opening rocker operates on the shim. The skirt itself is completely irrelevant. It's just there to keep it from falling sideways off the valve stem. Not part of the measurement. Okay. Alright, thanks. Next video, everything will be back together and we'll take our measurements and verify that we selected the correct shims.